Hi wrestling fans, thanks for clicking the Dreaded Heroes report for us people that had holidays over the weekend. Happy 4th of July. Otherwise, you must be over in another country and you didn't have no holiday. We did. That's why I was gone for a day. Did you ever notice, whether you're in another country or in this country, that we're all foreigners? No. I don't know why I said. Anyway, Total Championship Wrestling out of Austin, Texas, announced this weekend that they've signed WWE TNA talent Lance Hoyt or Vance Archer, whichever you want to call him, to a contract to be a full-time roster member. And some of the ailments in WWE right now is the Great Khali and Kane are said to be banged up and hurting quite a bit. Khali's mobility as of late has been bad. Late? Alright. While Kane is hurting, but not letting it affect his in-ring work at all. NXT member rookie Connor O'Brien, before he got eliminated, he was nursing a knee injury and had ice on the knee a lot last week's TV tapings. The confrontation, now this might be kind of interesting, the confrontation between CM Punk and Vince McMahon and John Cena is scheduled for next week's Raw from Boston, Massachusetts. This will be the go-home edition for Money in the Bank pay-per-view next week. So with all three of them in the ring, they're trying to get those ratings up again. Because of the holiday, I don't have the ratings from Monday's Raw yet, but as soon as I do, I want to see if it goes up, and just from all the rumors and crap went on about Punk. All right, Nasty Boy. Jerry Sags, he turned a nasty 47. And WWE legend, my buddy, Hillbilly Jim, turned 59. Stan the Man with stopwatch hand said there was 29 minutes, 41 seconds of in-ring action this past Thursday's TNA Impact Wrestling. Alright, after not appearing at Friday night's TNA Base Brawl event in Brooklyn, despite being advertised, Ric Flair appeared at Saturday's show in Asbury Park. Anyway, Flair was claiming backstage that he was never told he was going to be appearing in Brooklyn before the live crowd, so that's why he didn't go out. I had heard he left early, but oh well, he ought to know. At the show in Asbury, Flair came out to crowd cheers and asked why was everyone cheering for him, and he's supposed to be the bad guy. Flair then was asked to talk about his mission and return to Impact and capture the first his first world TNA world title. No matter who has it and who he has to go through, he wants to be at least have that title one time. And in case you missed it, last night's WWE Raw, Vince McMahon did reinstate CM Punk, and Punk will get his title shot at Money in the Bank pay-per-view against John Cena. Vince added the stipulation that if Cena loses, he's fired from WWE. He didn't say Raw or SmackDown, whatever he said, WWE. Yeah, you know that ain't going to happen. Unless he's got to make a movie for a couple of 2 or 3 minutes. Before Vince put Punk back on the match, in the match, Alberto Del Rio defeated R-Truth and Rey Mysterio to become the #1 contender for the WWE title. Del Rio won't be getting the title shot at Money in the Bank, but it's been planned for a while that Del Rio versus Cena at SummerSlam. WWE's website's teasing that new #1 contender might not have a chance to compete at Money in the Bank pay-per-view. They just won't be able to butt in. He keeps beeping. Go with the storyline, WWE has added the CM Punk back to their own roster page. WWE representative issued the following statement to TMZ during the Punk's, he made a homophobic slur. Oh, bad boy. Anyway, WWE had to say this, WWE does not condone this type of language or bias, and we reinforce that with our talent, reinforce it with our talent, but they're also independent contractors, so we're done with it. Go after Punk. Anyway, Punk responded on the controversy on his Twitter. He says, I'm glad TMZ posted the video because everybody needs to be held accountable for their bullshit, including me. What I said was bullshit. I'm embarrassed. I own up to being a douche in this situation. I offer my sincere apologies to anyone that I have hurt with careless words. And I hate that when you have to... The freedom of speech is just plain gone from the states, I guess. I don't know. Hey, at least you got to say bullshit. TMZ picked up the CM Punk insulting a fan at the live event in Australia this weekend. They wrote, WWE bad, this with TMZ, WWE bad guy CM Punk was caught on camera screaming "you homo" at a fan during a verbal altercation in Australia today. This is this as the WWE is repeatedly saying they're curbing their homophobic slurs. Anyway, the wrestling organization works directly with GLAAD and produces a series of anti-bullying commercials following incidents involved announcer Michael Cole and wrestler John Cena, where they've had problems there. Calls to GLAAD and WWE were not returned. They don't need to talk to TMZ. Hell with them. Oh, Stan the Man with the stopwatch hand also said there was 44 minutes, 44 seconds of in-ring action this Friday night SmackDown. Jim Ross on his Twitter that has said that WWE did another $1.1 million gate out in Melbourne, Australia show this weekend. I wonder how they bring all that money home on a plane. World Heavyweight Champion Randy Orton, who wrote the following on his Twitter regarding Arn Anderson and the Hall of Fame. He said, if Arn Anderson isn't in the Hall of Fame next year, I'll go on strike. And he said, we'll maybe not go on strike, but damn it, he earned it. Anyone else agree? He says, he has tutored me throughout my career, and speaking of the punt, 100% his idea. Former world champion Sid Vicious, Barry Windham, they both turned 51 today. Isn't that odd? Same day, same age. And neither one of them's working. Several fans sent word to CM Punk is sporting a new mustache on the current Australian tour. I was worried about that. After Orton pushed Arn Anderson to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, Chris Jericho, William Regal also endorsed Arn for the Hall. Jim Ross wrote the following to a fan on his website regarding the $1 Million Man's Ted DiBiase's DVD, when it's coming out and things. He says, last I heard, one is being either considered or edited. I'm not sure where it is in the process. He said, I assume it's going to be done. He said, I got interviewed for it several months ago. And reportedly, a few months ago, it was going to be released, the Ted DiBiase DVD, December 13th. I don't know if we're going to hold to it or not. At Sunday's live WWE event in Perth, Australia, WWE champion John Cena took to the mic and ripped into to the Rock, and Cena questioned whether Team Bring It was, and just where it was, and why it wasn't in Australia to entertain the universe. I think I might have mentioned this the other day. He says, I don't care if you play G.I. Joe, Fast 5, Fast 6, Godzilla, King Kong, Julius Caesar all rolled up into one. I want you in the middle of this ring defending the championship in front of all you guys because I'm not an actor, I'm a professional wrestler, and that's what I do because crowds like you. I think I said that maybe Saturday. I got some old stuff on here, but hey, oh, by the way, I had a couple of people mention who would have been the best person to take wrestling to the heights it is now if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan. There was only very few people who answered anything. A lot of them said Savage, some of them said Ultimate Warrior. Another guy on my phone line said King Kong, Bruiser Brody, which I don't know whether Bruiser Brody would have, no personality there, but he was a good wrestler. So anyway, if you still got any ideas, who could have took Hogan's place to help wrestling catapult to what it is? Let me know in the comments. Hey, thanks for clicking, you guys. I gotta go.